People who never dream of talking over a black person about racism have no problem talking over a Jew about anti-Semitism. I've had it happen twice now while volunteering for the Cuomo campaign. Both times from Mom Donnie supporters who think they get to decide what's really anti-Semitic. That's not disagreement. That's erasive anti-Semitism, denying Jews the right to define our own experiences and vulnerabilities. Exactly what Ben Freeman, the Brandeis Center, and other subject matter experts warn about.
I named Erasive Jew Hate, Erasive Antisemitism, and I realized it did two things. So the first is it erases Jewish experience. It says that Jew hate is not a contemporary problem. Jews are a white privileged group who are not kind of deserving of allyship. And it frames Jew hate as not a contemporary thing. It also erases Jewish identity. It erases our minoritized status, but it also erases our indigeneity. So the fact that we are indigenous to the land of Israel, the Levant.
You'd never talk over a black person describing racism. So why is it acceptable to tell Jews what is or isn't anti-Semitic? I used to work for a pair of Jewish American nonprofits that both dealt with fighting anti-Semitism. So I'm something of a subject matter expert myself. I'm really proud of myself because during my volunteer work for the Cuomo campaign, I've really gotten to road test or out in the field, put my expertise on what is erasive anti-Semitism to the test. Both times, volunteers of the Mom Donnie campaign approached me and they asked me, why aren't I supporting Mom Donnie? Or why am I supporting Cuomo? Now, if this were a member of the public asking me why they should support Cuomo, I have talking points I'd say for that. But that's not what these volunteers asked me. They asked me why I'm supporting Cuomo or why I'm not supporting Mom Donnie. And both times I told them straight up, because I'm a Jew and I wouldn't feel safe if he were our mayor. And both times they followed up and said, well, why? Can you give me some examples of that? And I tell them, oh, sure. He repeatedly uses libels against the Jewish state, calling it genocidal, an occupying force, and an apartheid state. These are false, and they put a target on my back. They give people a reason to be hateful and violent toward Jews anywhere and everywhere. I don't want that. I also tell them, of course, how Mom Donnie refuses to condemn the phrase globalize the Intifada, which is a worldwide call for violence against Jews anywhere and everywhere. Both times, the Mom Donnie volunteers told me, well, I don't hear it that way, or I don't think it means that. And both times I answered, your opinion doesn't mean anything. I'm the Jew. I get to tell you what it means and what my experience is. And then I point out to them, would they ever, as white people, try and explain to a black person who is saying that they were the victim of racist discrimination, would they ever try and talk over that black person and say, no, 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 Mr. Black person, let me, the white person, tell you actually what your experience is. You're getting it wrong, even though it's affecting you and you're the black person. I'll explain it for you. No, no one would dream of talking over a minority victim of racist discrimination like that. But they've got no problem talking over a Jew about what anti-Semitism is or feels like. Instead of just listening, that's erasive anti-Semitism, denying Jews the right to define their own experiences, denying Jewish identity, erasing Jews as victims of prejudice ever, any kind, because they're too successful or their skin looks too white. Society's got this blind spot. So I told them, I'm the Jew. My opinion matters here. Yours is meaningless and irrelevant. I said it with a little less fire in my voice and a little bit more education, but I didn't mince words either. And I'm very proud of that. I really feel like I'm educating people about something very important that they need to know. So look up these resources, Erasive Antisemitism. It denies Jews a lot of other things. Our indigeneity to the Levant, the land of Israel. It denies the Holocaust often. A lot of other kinds of things it denies I'll put up on the screen. There's this blind spot in society where people think it's totally fine to Jew-splain anti-Semitism, to tell Jews what should or shouldn't make us feel unsafe. My safety isn't up for debate, and your opinion isn't relevant. It's wild how people who would never tell a black person what is or isn't racism somehow feel totally comfortable explaining to a Jew what is or isn't anti-Semitism. The same people who pride themselves on being anti-racist suddenly lose that awareness when it comes to Jews and start rewriting our experiences for us. Thank you for your attention to this matter.